RAP4 is the ultimate realistic combat simulation paint markers. This is a one-to-one replica of the famous M4 style military paint gun. It is approximately 6.5 pounds, operates off a CO2 cartridge that is inside of the stock. Has a 20-round detachable magazine. Comes in a biodegradable shell. All of this paint, by the way, is biodegradable. It's a water-soluble, olive oil-based food coloring type paint. This particular type has a biodegradable shell that gets ejected every time you fire. This is good for outside playing. When you can clean up the mess, it also comes in this aluminum alloy casing, and it has a pretty realistic sound when the casings are hitting the ground. Also available for law enforcement is a hard rubber ball, and it also comes in an aluminum alloy case. This is the 20-round magazine that you load the paintball ammunition into. The loading procedure, you'll find that there's a dial on the side of the magazine. You want to turn that, and it's basically a spring. You want to keep turning that clockwise until the spring is all the way at the bottom, which it is. Next, you'll take your casing, and you'll notice that there's a rounded end to the casing on this end, and there's a flat side of the casing on this end. You want to put the flat part facing forward, as if it was the paint pellet's going to be shot out this way. You want the flat part of the casing facing forward, and simply depress that and it'll slide all the way down. Doesn't matter which type of ammunition you use, it will all load into the magazine. Flat end, rounded end, facing forward, flat end, rounded end. The CO2 cartridge is a 45-gram cartridge that fits inside your RAM4 marker. It will shoot approximately 130 paintballs, or you'll go through about 5 or 6 different magazines. You'll notice that it does have the standard paintball threads, so if you were to customize your marker to use bigger bottles, those bigger bottles would fit on there. Take the plastic snake that is included in your cleaning kit. You can use a white t-shirt, any kind of a clean rag, and insert it on the other end. You'll insert the snake into the chamber until you see it come out of the barrel. Simply pull the rag through and you will clean your barrel. The other maintenance procedure that's critical to the proper operation of your marker is to make sure that every time you switch out your CO2 tanks, you need to put 2 drops of oil right there. And that's all it takes. This will keep the seals from drying out and the cartridge from leaking. And to reassemble, simply take the stock, slide it over the CO2 cartridge, lining up this bottom rail with the hole inside of the core. Press that button and slide it forward. And you'll notice that it's locked in place, ready to go. Put your M4 RAM marker into operation. Simply depress the stock, slide it forward, pick your CO2 cartridge, and you'll notice that there's a knob in the back. Turn that counterclockwise, 1 full turn, then depress the stock, slide it back out until you hear a click, and it is now secured and ready for play. Next, take a loaded 20-round magazine, insert the magazine, and you want to seat it pretty tightly until you hear a snap. That's going to keep the magazine from not seating properly and dropping out. And then you'll also notice up here that you can see the casing in the side. Next, you're going to make sure that on your select fire that you move it from the switch from the safe position to the semi position, and now you're ready to fire. This is an example of semi. This is an example of auto. To disassemble your marker for maintenance and or adjustment, you'll notice that there's 2 set pins or locking pins, one in the rear and one in the front. To start, you'll notice that the pin came out, and then just tip upper receiver forward. You'll notice 2 in the back. One is to adjust the velocity and one is to adjust the rate of fire. To reassemble the marker, you'll notice that there's a small protrusion right as the ejector arm. It has a small spring on there. If you were to just close the upper receiver, you would either break this off or bend your spring. What you want to do is to press this with your finger, it snaps back into place, and then you'll reinsert your locking pin. Okay, for use, for example, this is a disassembled ram, and I'm going to show you how to adjust the rate of fire. Put an Allen wrench on this front screw here. The ram 4 can shoot from 1 shot per second up to 15 shots per second simply by turning this Allen wrench counterclockwise. You notice that there's a larger set screw to the rear. This is to adjust your velocity. Without a chronometer, you're not going to get an exact velocity. However, there is a way to do this where you can get an estimate of exactly how fast your paintballs are going. If you take your set screw, or if you take your Allen wrench, put it in the set screw, and turn clockwise until you feel resistance. Don't force it. And then that's where it stops. You're going to take the Allen wrench and turn it counterclockwise, exactly a half turn, and that should give you approximately a foot per second. Okay, and here's where the real fun starts, accessorizing your M4 ram. Anything that you can put on a standard M16 M4 in the military, you can put on these paintball markers. As the sights, you can put different types of grips, you can stack magazines, different kind of rail systems for accessories, lights, fake silencers, different types of foregrips, more different scopes, keep rolling, you can always edit it. Paintball launchers or grenade launchers, flashlights, optical sight. Safety is very important. When you leave the playing area, make sure that you turn your CO2 off all the way. Release your magazine. Turn your marker on safe. Put a muzzle cover on the muzzle, and always wear eye protection.